The empty bed. Chapter 1. The nightlights flicker. I stepped onto the worn porch, my suitcase wheels screeching against the weathered boards as I settled into the rhythm of my childhood home's familiar embrace. 20.1 years had passed since I left this place, chasing dreams and ambitions that never quite materialized. Now, with graduation looming and a sense of disillusionment gnawing at me, nostalgia tugged me back like a moth to a flame. The Victorian house loomed before me, its once that vibrant exterior now muted by time and neglect, a testament to my absence. My parents had long since passed on, leaving the sprawling relic in the care of a neighbor who let it slowly decay. As I reached for the key, a gust of salt water, scented air caressed my cheeks, carrying whispers from summers spent beneath the old oak tree. Inside, every object still bore the imprint of our lives, the faint scent of lemon and sugar lingering on kitchen countertops, the creaky floorboards bearing witness to countless nights of whispered secrets. I set my bag down in the bedroom that had been mine for so long, the same one where childish laughter and tears mingled with moonlight. As dusk crept outside, casting shadows across walls adorned with faded family portraits, a sudden realization made me shiver. It was almost as if time stood still here. Each item remained, frozen in a bygone era, waiting for me to reclaim its place. The bed, now stripped of any warmth or comfort, seemed a relic from another life. In the darkness, the flickering nightlight cast an unsettling glow, a lone star twirling across the ceiling, its pulse an erratic heartbeat that synchronized with my own racing rhythm. As I undressed for what felt like the first time in years, shadows danced and twisted along the wall, as if tracing patterns only known to themselves. A chill rippled down my spine, dispelling the languid warmth of a summer evening. It was then that I noticed the photograph on my nightstand, a picture of me at 7, clutched tightly by a hand, eyes gazing up with an unspoken message in those iridescent blue orbs. My mother's locket lay nearby, its chain broken. An unsettling sense settled over me. It had always been tucked away safely within her dresser drawer. A strange tingling crept along my skin as I drifted toward the bed, sheets cold against my bare legs. As I fell asleep, dreams clawed at the edges of consciousness, nightmarish vignettes of being chased through the house by an unseen force, its breathing heavy and sinister, a low rumble that reverberated in every chamber of my soul. Waking to the cawing of a solitary bird outside, I reached for the night light to extinguish it, plunging me into darkness. But the light remained, pulsating with a cadence now steady and menacing, each beat drawing closer, as if something was trying to emerge from the shadows. In that moment, I realized that some ghosts never really leave. Chapter 2. The empty closet. The morning light, though muted by thick curtains, struggled to breach the room's gloom. I donned jeans and a faded tee-dye shirt before venturing out to inspect our old abode, fingers trailing over surfaces that once felt so comforting. Dust motes danced in sunlight, filtering through mangled curtains as I wandered from room to room, each step leading me down pathways of memories, both cherished and forgotten. In the attic, cobwebs tickled my skin while exploring trunks filled with forgotten treasures. A sudden creak behind made me spin. There was no one else here but me. I strode toward it. The floorboards groaned, and a closet door hung ajar, inviting curiosity to take the reins. Inside, a wave of nostalgia washed over me. A rainbow of dresses from first days at school to prom nights past, suspended in time. A silver locket rested atop a chest, its delicate chain missing. My heart swelled as I lifted it. My name was etched on the pendant, alongside those of my mother's. The door creaked shut behind me. As I turned, an unsettling silence filled the space. No dust particles disturbed by wind, no floorboards. It was then that things began to shift and sway of their own accord. An old teddy bear spun, a ballerina skirt pirouette in midair, and my childhood books teetered on shelves, pages fluttering with a forceless breeze. I closed the door, telling myself imagination played tricks under the isolation. Yet, each time I approached it, the closet seemed to reopen, beckoning me back with an irresistible allure. That night, I returned from dinner in town to find the room in disarray. Clothes scattered across the floor, locket missing once more. In the morning's fading light, a journal belonging to my mother sat atop my dresser, a relic of the past. Her handwriting danced across pages, speaking of a sorrow I never knew. Nightmares that left her breathless and cold, whispering voices. Each entry ended abruptly, as if consumed by an unseen horror. The final page held only a single word in crimson ink: run. A chill snaked down my spine. In the night's quiet, whispers echoed through the room, a soft, raspy voice calling my name. I spun around, but there was no one there. Emma. It called again, louder now, a raspy plea that wrenched at a heart-long thought buried. Fingers trembling, I jotted an answer on a piece of paper and tucked it into the journal. Please go away. In the morning light. Nothing had changed. Still, the word lingered, ink bleeding as if written by other than my own hand. The days blended together, a hodgepodge of routine, working in my old job in town during the day and exploring memories at night. It was on the fourth evening that an unfamiliar sound seeped through the floorboards, a low thump, dot thump, dot thump, echoing from somewhere within the house's bowels. I followed it to a door buried beneath layers of carpets and wallpaper, old as the house itself. Behind the panels lay a room forgotten in time, a nursery, once painted with characters I'd outgrown. In the center, an antique bed frame bore my name in ironwork. Emma. As I neared, the letters seemed to shift, pulsing red under moonlight seeping through the dust-encrusted windows. A figure stood by it, tall and gaunt, clad in tattered nightclothes. The woman's face was obscured by a hood. Only the pale moonlight on her skin revealed a familiar silhouette, a ghost from years past. My voice, barely audible, questioned what she sought here after all these years. Chapter 3. The Final Breath. With dawn's first light, I fled to the kitchen, hoping reason would dispel this haunting interlude. A note rested on the counter, scrawled in childish handwriting. Meet me at midnight. The nursery door hung open, revealing an ethereal form as expected. She stepped closer, hood falling away like a shroud, revealing my own face, a doppelganger with sunken eyes and skin pale as moonlight. Her voice whispered, "I've been waiting." Paralyzing fear rooted me to the spot. She beckoned me towards the antique bed, its ironwork pulsing crimson in the rising light. The room shrunk around us, suffocating. Why? The word escaped on a trembling breath as I stared at my doppelganger. The Emma from photographs and journal pages come to life. She spoke with a voice that wasn't mine, yet wasn't not mine either. You were taken. Memories long buried resurfaced, Fear, loss, abandonment. In a blinding flash of understanding, this apparition wasn't the ghost I thought. It was me, the part of my soul torn away at 5. My heart pounded out an erratic rhythm as she reached for my hand, a hand that felt hers own. She led me to the bed, where I collapsed, trapped by our entwined fingers. I don't know you. The words spilled from parched lips, yet they resonated with a truth I couldn't deny. Her face contorted in pain and longing before dissolving into my features, a reflection of grief and loss shared between two souls. The figure that was me, my doppelganger, my lost child self, rose, legs trembling as we took our first steps together across the room. I embraced her with unspoken understanding. In time, she vanished. Only I remained, the girl who had been left behind by grief and neglect. When the room darkened completely, an ethereal presence still lingered, a soul no longer torn between worlds. It seemed that some things couldn't be buried, the echoes of what could have been. As light breached the nursery window, our forms dissolved into one. My face, her eyes, my sorrow in this new unity. We descended to the main floor, where I left notes scrawled across walls and doors, a testament to an invisible presence felt long gone. Each message screamed of a shared torment. In the kitchen, I found a final entry. Run. The doppelganger smiled. The woman who was me. Our eyes met in understanding as one soul merged into another, no longer split by loss or time. In a morning silence, only the name Emma remained etched on the bed frame. Proof that some ghosts are merely echoes of what could have been, and they might just be your own true form.